Всем привет, меня зовут Андрей, мы продолжаем проходить Disco Elysium, и, возможно, это будет финал. Не знаю, сколько осталось до конца, но мы уже нашли преступника, допросили его. Того самого преступника. Того самого деда. Точнее, деда, в смысле того самого деда. Оказалось, что убийца — это дед, повстанец, ну, типа, или как это назвать? Не повстанец, а революционер еще той эпохи. Вот. Революционер и все такое. И, в общем, он... Ну, честно говоря, я разочарован этим выбором убийцы.
Hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched.
То, что, блин, типа его просто убил старый, блин, революционер, который ненавидит всех, вот, ненавидит всех, по сути, сейчас. Который одновременно влюбился в эту девушку, которая жила там в номере. И одновременно возненавидел того типа, наемника, потому что он такой плохой человек. Ну, понятное дело, что он плохой человек, но мало ли плохих людей.
The magnesium levels in your blood are dangerously low. It's about the low magnesium levels and not the high alcohol levels.
Вот знал же, что дело не в алкоголе и не в других веществах.
Yeah, the other things. Long live the other things. Made you strong as an ox, they have.
Так значит, мне не хватает магния.
Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium in your bloodstream.
В чем отличие закинуться и подкинуться? Мне нужно закинуться магнием?
You need to get so magged up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already. And the only prescription is insane amounts of magnesium.
То есть ты говоришь, что мне нужно стать магниевой формой жизни?
Yes, if you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to transcend the carbon barrier. Go to the apothecary and buy insane amounts of magnesium. It will reverse the damage to your circulatory system. Just remember, it's not the alcohol. Buy more of that too. Alcohol is not the problem. And it's certainly not the dextroamphetamine. Nor pyrrolidone, that sweet, sweet psychoactive radiation drug. Nor smoking for 40 years. It's the lack of magnesium and excess of coffee. You should stop drinking coffee. It wreaks havoc on your gastrointestinal system.
Да, да. Это как такие есть люди, которые такие каждый день бухают, но при этом такой: кола с сахаром? Фу, я не пью колу с сахаром. Я пью только зеро. Кока-колу зеро. Я же не хочу умереть от передоза сахара. Типа, передоза сахара. От этого, от диабета. У меня есть 3 мысли, которые я еще не использовал, но у меня всего 2 очка навыка. Не знаю, пригодятся ли мне они еще. Да я не знаю, что я могу удалить из этих. Тут плюс. Тут минус разве что. Так, ладно, давай арестуем его, что ли.
The old man stares despondently at the logs. It's like he's forgotten you're there.
Иосиф Лилианович Дрос. Вы арестованы за убийство Элиса Кортенара.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
Ну, тебя полечат, это тоже. Но это не значит, что ты не будешь арестован.
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But...
Ким, ему страшно.
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
Я думаю, это наркотики. Ну, в смысле, вот это, то, чем он там, обезболивающий. Потому что, в принципе, он же не из тех, кто прям боится умереть. Он сам говорил. Он уже умирает. Но сейчас у него какой-то приход, видимо.
Pupils are dilated too. Eyes getting blacker and blacker.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
Стоп, я могу что-то сделать? Стоп.
There it is again. To your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper, stalks rubbing against each other. But then, in the middle of it,
Что?
something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin, made of reeds and rushes.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat.
Ким, ты слышишь?
What?
What are you talking about? Is this really us?
Your skin crawls.
Что происходит? Что мы слышим или не слышим? Воу-воу-воу-воу-воу-воу-воу. What the fuck? Что это? Это, как его называют, призрачный, этот, тростниковый, австралийский фазмид.
Limb by limb. To then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
Что это такое?
What are you talking about?
Об огромном палочнике.
There's nothing there.
Слушай, это у меня приход или что?
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand move to your holster, but you don't have a gun.
Нет, есть, я же вижу.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
Ким, ты это видишь?
I can see it.
Фух, хорошо, хоть Ким это видит. Ну, у Кима есть пистолет, если что. Сейчас он убивает деда, и у нас нет преступника, и нет оправдания вообще. Потому что Фазмит этот исчезнет моментально.
4 simple words, thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence, its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
Какой поворот, блин, вообще. Вообще неожиданный поворот. Причем тут нахрен Фазмит, я уже забыл про него. Дед, вообще не до тебя.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch.
Хорошо, что у меня электрохимия вкачана. Внимательно прислушаться. Это австралийский Фазмит.
It is.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open extremely carefully. It's the camera. No, the flash will scare the creature off. Warn him now.
Да, но это единственный шанс его запечатлеть. Ким, вспышка громкая, ему не понравится.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
Но это тоже правильно.
From the corner of your eye,
Ну, мы могли
you
бы
see
сначала
a sudden
попробовать.
cascade of motion ripple through the
Уж мы могли бы его
Phasmit's
схватить.
limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear.
Погоди, дай мне сперва подойти к нему.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
You see the Phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
Блин, я хочу, там у меня был шанс хороший подойти к нему. Да послушай же ты. Блин, если это не шепотом, он может спугнуться. Какая разница, кто что подумает, Ким?
Understood. Of course.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly.
Давай попробуем подойти. Потому что лучшие самые вот эти варианты, они всегда вот, ну, такие вот, типа, проверки. Особенно красные. Чем опаснее, ну, грубо говоря, чем не, как сказать, выше риск, тем выше награда. Так что у нас электрохимия вкачана, поэтому у нас риск не такой высокий. Давай приблизимся.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Зачем с ним разговаривать? Это же, блин, ну это явно не... Он явно не знает языка. Так что зачем с ним общаться? Медленно поднять руку.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence.
Блин. Опустить руку или поднять вторую руку? Интересно вообще, что можно добиться в общении с этим существом? То есть какой самый вообще максимальный результат можно извлечь из этого? Поднять вторую руку?
As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own. They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you, praying to you.
Ну, это типичный жест насекомых, вот это вот так вот. Как у мух там. Да, молись. Не молись мне, я ничтожество. Да, молись.
Unwittingly, the insect continues its stridulations. As it moves, tuft-like structures, still pretending to be plants, rustle along on its joints. Perhaps it is preparing to eat its god.
Кстати, не исключено, кстати говоря. Ну, разговаривать, я не знаю, нет смысла с ним. Ладно, надо сфоткать его действительно. Ладно, Ким, фотографируй.
Okay.
Хотя, скорее всего, не будет, блин. Скорее всего, что-то, блин, пленка испортится или что-нибудь такое, или... Ну, в общем, не будет у нас доказательств.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated
Вдруг он сожрет
on
меня
you.
действительно.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
I got it.
Я заснял! Не знаю, блин. А, это типа флеш, этот, как не знаю, инстант камера. Слушай, ну это опасно, он может убить нас. Изучайте фазмида, пока он не уйдет. Медленно протянуть руку и дотронуться до... Нет, блин, усики это самое нежное, что у них есть. Дотронешься до усика, он может разозлиться или испугаться. Осторожно погладить похожую на лезвие косы лапку.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing. Warning!
Убрать руку.
A sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like the creature is awakening, wave by wave from its stupor.
Ну, блин, рискованно, конечно. Я могу умереть, и все придется сначала делать. Медленно протянуть руку и дотронуться до усика существа.
The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the chitin curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish. The sensation is electrifying, resounding through your body. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker.
Приколись, дед сидит в ахуе
It's
просто.
even a bit wet.
Чё вы делаете? Вы меня арестовать пришли или как? Чё вы там... Что вы делаете в тростнике?
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
Посмотреть на палец.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen.
Лизнуть палец? Серьезно? Да я же умру. Это явно какой-то яд. Лизнуть палец.
It tastes like sugar, very faint. The anthropod towers above you, tufts of reeds pointing from limb and head alike. Odorless, mostly comprised of water.
Ну, вроде больше нечего делать. Я, конечно, могу еще раз его погладить, но еще дольше. Но мне там скорость реакции сказала, что будь осторожен лучше. Получилось.
Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
Здравствуй, меня зовут Гарри. Я не очень знаю, кто я такой.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Привстать на цыпочки и присмотреться.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish. The faintest
как
smell,
брызнет, блин.
like you've never felt before, like burnt roses.
Ядом на меня. Ким, у него пена идет.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
Высокие шансы. Потому что я говорил с повешенным. Ну типа я опять сейчас в свое воображение уйду. Я отступился от фазмида, почувствовал вкус, знает о партеногенезе. Скажи, что ты делаешь? Я тоже существую.
Tell me what it's like for you.
Что за вундербар? Я болен.
What is your illness?
Болезнь сердца. Грусть заполняет его капля за каплей.
For me, it is not like that. I have states, not emotions. For example, I experience excitement at unexpected sugar rewards. But that is not important. Now I will tell you how it is for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images. A kind of darkness being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist.
Что ее прерывает?
Shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. A swarm of sounds. Tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light. It only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul. And if I did, it would never ache.
Что это за хуйня сейчас творится?
I don't know. You're just a shadow for me. Far away, faintly transmitting, but for a curious smell.
И что мы выбираем? Я хотел бы быть таким, как ты, типа, вообще не задумываться ни о чем, ничего не чувствовать. Или я все-таки рад быть собой, что я чувствую, существую, не то что насекомые. Ну, типа, более цельно, как сказать, что, типа, наш персонаж растет и осознает, что да, ему больно, но он человек, и это и есть часть его. И надо это тоже принимать в себе, там, идти вперед. Поэтому вторая реплика, она более логична в этом плане. Я рад, что я таков, каков есть. Необычайно чувствительный инструмент.
Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, a kaleidoscope of fire and writhing glass. eternal damnation. Even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute empathy for you.
Сначала было страшно и непонятно, но теперь я собрался.
That must be incredibly hard. The Orthopods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you.
Да? Насекомые болеют за меня, правда? А можно насекомые отойдут подальше от меня? Большинство из них мне не особо нравится.
And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. Bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
Откуда оно берется? Вот это все, что нас окружает. Мир.
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily.
Тогда остается лишь колотить по нему кулаками, день за днем, без надежды на ответ.
You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
Wait, so...
То есть ты выглядишь как тростник и ешь тростник.
Yes, they don't mind.
Ты никогда случайно не съедал других тростниковых фазмидов?
Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident.
О. Что ты такое?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmodia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys. I went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Samanese islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Rebelshop, district of Martinez, March 51.
Безумие.
No, you are. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. A volatile simian nerve system ominously new to the planet. The tale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
Погоди, а что такое серость?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. a great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
У меня нет такой силы.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Given enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
Каким образом?
We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Почему хуже?
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if he misplaces us all one day, or just forget?
Моргнуть. Я буду очень-очень стараться не моргать, палочник, не волнуйся.
Please be. Or one day, one of you will close your eyes and sigh, and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Это сон? Что происходит?
No, you're awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
Не знаю, к чему это, но я сыщик.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
Убийцу.
He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration.
Кого? Кого? Ты разрушаешь его?
Very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him.
Ким, скажи, я сейчас переживаю жестокий эпилептический припадок?
It doesn't look like that, no.
А на что это похоже?
You're just staring at it.
Тогда, кажется, у меня видение о судьбе человечества.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
К расследованию? По сравнению с этим, расследование не имеет никакого значения. Я давно уже все расследовал. Я давно уже вне расследования.
I think you should back away from the unstudied species now.
Ладно, Фазмит, пришло время прощаться. У меня больше нет мыслей. Закончились.
No, there is one more.
Ты самая добрая, ты самая страшная, ты самая красивая. Ну, красивым я бы его не назвал, честно говоря. Страшным, ну, в этой игре точно, но не назвал бы, но... Если бы я, конечно, увидел в реальности, я бы обосрался, наверное. Я-то и таких насекомых не люблю. А уж огромных насекомых. Хотя он больше выглядит как тростник, а не как насекомое. Но вот лицо у него насекомовидное. Из всех существ, что я встречал, ты самая добрая.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you before you go. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. For all mankind.
Какая женщина?
You cannot lie to me. Behind you, he smells of fires. So awfully far he would prepare to go in her presence. And it.
Я постараюсь.
She was held on earth. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Окей.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface. And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
It's gone.
Что там такое в тростнике?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
Она умеет ходить по воде?
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only... I've never seen anything like that in my life.
И что теперь?
What now?
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
Снайперский прицел, шлем. Воу, шлем. Блин, то есть получается, я, если бы того типа, который там вот как раз искал этого размитого, уломал бы, у меня был бы весь набор. А зачем мне этот прицел нужен? Найдите все элементы брони. Вот, блин, один элемент мне не это. Не нашелся для меня. Причем я знаю, где я мог его взять. Он был у того типа. Так, ладно. Давай сохранимся. Вообще это что-то было нечто. Я не ожидал такого. Я не ожидал, что вот это сейчас будет. Неожиданно, блин, во время разговора с преступником появился, блин, какое-то мистическое существо появилось, с которым мы поговорили даже.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
Послушай, как ты можешь его не видеть?
See.
Mr. Duras?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. His gap-toothed mouth shaking.
У него, походу, инфаркт сейчас случится.
Like an addict of some terrible substance.
Помахать рукой у него перед лицом.
A light shiver passes him, followed by nothing. His hands are trembling, and he breathes slowly.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Duras?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
Что на него нашло?
Old age and shock.
Думаю, виноват Фазмид.
Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
Quite a few things about that health check you did on him make sense now.
Возможно, Фазмид подействовал на него на гормональном уровне.
You mean pheromonal?
Он кажется порой слишком похотливым для своего возраста.
The scope, knowing of her bruises, his disposition toward Miss Orania? I see what you mean.
Я говорил с Фазмидом. Он сказал, что разрушает старика.
You should be more careful, detective. Are you sure it wasn't having an effect on you?
Конечно, нет, мы же просто разговаривали.
Are you sure? You were looking at it for a long time, almost as if you were hypnotized. Were you hypnotized?
Может быть. В любом случае, единственная цель Фазмида — остаться незамеченным, а деградация — лишь побочный эффект.
A valid hunch. Long-term exposure to something like that could be neurodegenerative. Also, please be careful when approaching unknown species in the future, detective.
Ну и помимо этого, я думаю, что у него зависимость. Точнее, вообще, когда я оценивал его состояние, мне показалось, что его что-то стимулирует.
He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse.
Вот именно что. Возможно, источником этой стимуляции был Фазмид.
It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive. I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall.
Я думаю, что у него зависимость.
Like a drug?
Он демонстрировал характерное для зависимых поведение. И дело тут не только в обезболивающих.
His pupils appear to be dilated. They still are.
Не знаю, давай эту реплику тоже используем, хотя я не вижу в этом особого смысла, но кто знает. Я из тех, кто просто использует все реплики, которые возможны. Ну, потому что кто знает, к чему они могут привести. Он его не видел, Ким. Для старика это просто тростник.
That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dross.
No response.
Возможно, именно так Фазмиду и удавалось оставаться незамеченным все эти годы.
Then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it.
Да, ты забываешь о его присутствии.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Dross, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds?
Он умирает, блин. Уже сидит такой.
The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse.
Да, он провел здесь очень много времени. Кто знает, как долго Фазмид был рядом.
He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
No one would believe you without it.
Мы кое-что нашли в гнезде Фазмида.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
Что из этого показать ему? Показать ему керамический шлем?
Nothing. Just dull staring. Not even rage left, wherever he is.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the Phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
Давай покажем ему тогда прицел.
I lost.
Ты потерял его?
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie Phasmid. This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh. You've gotten all you will out of this poor being.
Пока отдыхай тогда.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal.
Давай, держись тут.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't take too long.
Я бы на самом деле по одному бы. Я бы лучше разделился. Хер знает. А если он, блин, умрет здесь просто или уйдет в воду и утонет? Как мы потом докажем все это, блин? Или сбежит, или вот это все театр, может быть, одного актера. Спросите Классье про... Где Классье, блин? Квест не пропадает, значит Классье еще появится. Элементы брони тоже не пропадают, значит у нас есть шанс ее добыть или что? Возвращение. Воспользуйтесь лодкой, чтобы вернуться на материк. Ну, да, потому что я уже вроде тут все обошел, прежде чем поговорить с ним, так что По идее, можно возвращаться. А где был выход? Наверное, тут где-то. Да уж, я не ожидал вообще такого поворота. Куда ты пошел? А, точно, лестница, этот, выход наверху.
Soft covers, serialized fantastique, and detective stories, and a small collection of critical theory from obscure publishing houses under the bed. The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock.
Вернемся на большую землю.
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Кто знает, что нас тут поджидает, кто и что. Так,
Look what the tide brought in.
кто-то вообще не знаю, кто это. А, это тот тип, который сидел, который из моего участка.
Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen.
Вы кто такие?
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicomar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heilerstam, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you after pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy. The two aren't mutually exclusive.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, So I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
Оставляешь меня на растерзание?
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
Короче, забудьте обо всем этом. Послушайте.
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
Что, остальных моя кровь не смущает?
Bothered by it. Harry, you look like you need a fucking organ transplant. Oh, fuck it. Let's not get into that.
Что происходит вообще?
Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets.
Да, кстати, когда была перестрелка, где вы, блин, были там? Ты и еще одна баба.
Shit, kid. What an interesting moniker.
А, это она же? Женщина с лошадиным лицом. Кого ты назвал засранцем?
You. Shit kid, that's you.
Maybe you've deserved it.
Где вы были все это время? Вы пропустили трибунал наемников.
God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All we burn. Detect or die.
Погодите, то есть вы отдали меня на растерзание профессиональным убийцам просто чтобы преподать мне урок?
It wasn't like that.
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we?
Да что ты, блядь. И почему вы бросили тогда божественного полицейского?
You were crying hysterically. You were drunk, breaking things, being emotionally abusive. You said we were going into the abyss. None of us wanted to see the abyss, so we fucked off. Like you told us to.
Откуда вы узнали, где меня искать?
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
Я спас его заведение, а он все равно предал меня.
Strange. He didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look saved at all. There was a giant aerograffito in front of the building. It was on fire.
Да, это я поджег. Мне это показалось поэтичным.
I knew it. Didn't I tell you, Trant? I told you it was our shit, kid.
The line is from Lou Giatun's Mirova 82, isn't it? About girl-child communism, the titular returning character to ghost the apparition of... Good choice, Harry.
Don't encourage him, Trant.
Okay.
И ты, кстати, вовсе не человек в темных очках. Ты даже не блондин.
Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on.
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
Если бы ты был менее Блядь. Если бы ты был менее саркастичным, я, может быть, и узнал бы тебя.
I'm clinically depressed, Harry. Sorry if I wasn't in the mood to butter you up after you told us to fuck off.
И вообще, у меня были подозрения, что что-то не так.
Did you? Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how long, Harry? Don't answer that. You don't remember.
He's right. Don't start guessing. Now's not a good time.
А ты ни разу не обмолвилась о том, что ты не женщина с лошадиным лицом.
Lieutenant, my name is not Horse-Faced Woman. It's Judith Minot. I was assigned to your unit 2 months ago. I thought we were friends.
Да, ну блин, вы не замечаете, что у меня произошло какая-то потеря памяти. Я не сошел с ума, у меня просто была потеря памяти. Но мы по-прежнему друзья, просто у меня с головой проблемы.
Okay. Because you're my commanding officer, I really want to respect you. I want us to have a normal relationship.
That will never happen, Jude. He's the rudest man on earth. He's the reason why the rest of us have to take sensitivity training. And I hate sensitivity training.
Так Трент Хайдельстам на самом деле оказывается внештатный консультант Трент Хайдельстам.
Yes, I'm Trant Heilestam. I never said I wasn't Trant Heilestam.
Это тот, я только сейчас понял, что это тот тип, который там любовался на здание с ребенком. Погоди, а что это тогда был за ребенок?
Mikhail? Mikhail's my son.
Да ну, а как насчет занимательной истории? Ты шпионил за мной?
No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead. And Mikhail wanted to see Martinez. It was a coincidence.
Ладно, и что же ты тут внештатно консультируешь?
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He's smart. Let's move on.
Короче, вы меня все развели. Все выдают себя за кого-то другого.
Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Садовница, лидер антистачников, теперь это. Ты-то кем? Хотя бы не притворяешься кем-то другим?
Yes, I'm still Kim Kisuragi, still a lieutenant from Precinct 57.
Окей. А что ты там говорил о спецотряде?
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
Напомни-ка мне, кто еще в нем состоит?
Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Tron fucking Heidelstown, and Guillaume Baby.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show.
Ага. Во-первых, а кто такой Гийом Беви?
Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Tron because I'm forcing him to stay.
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses?
А этот Гийом Беви случайно не блондин в темных очках? Вроде того, каким ты был.
See? There. He's getting it. I was impersonating him. Look at me, I'm G. Bevy. It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage. So not so much anymore.
He sincerely thought it was going to be amusing for both of you.
Ладно, и чем это подразделение занимается?
Do? It's a major crimes unit. We cleared the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
The 41st isn't...
Ничего такого не припоминаю.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage, Detective God. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, pound, and so on.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Погоди-ка, с социально-экономической? Ты думаешь, я настолько обнищал, что потерял память?
Not when you phrase it like that. But I don't think critical theory... I know everyone thinks this is far-fetched pink academia, but still, I don't think it should be off the table here.
What? He lost his memory because of capitalism?
No, not like that. I'm not talking Vredefort school here. But Harry, I asked you, what do you think happened?
Капитализм. Капитализм размазал меня по стенке. Нет, нет. Ну, со мной случилось нечто настолько печальное, что я не мог оставаться собой. Это была защитная реакция.
Psychotraumatic amnesia, Trant? I can go for that. Shit kid is a broken man. Always has been. Who isn't? I know I am. But you know what? I keep my shit together. Also, I know a person can't wipe their own mind, however traumatic it gets. That doesn't happen. You're lying. Or insane. Or both.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before.
Да?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case. The other when we looked into that mural.
So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful. The two cases in your ledger, the unsolvable case and the Next World mural, those were recent. Those cases were hard on you.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
Да пошли вы все нахуй. Я не хочу состоять в вашем подразделении.
No, Harry. Fuck you. You already fucked us. I've already explained this shit to Bryce twice. To Berdyayeva 4 times. I'm your partner. I answer for you when you're not there.
И что теперь?
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here. Yeah. Just stand there. It's cool.
Серьезно?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
А. Погоди-ка, в океане?
Yes, in the ocean, under the sea. Our work vehicle, with fishing clams and other sea shit.
Я думал, что убийца скрывается под водой, но это было не так.
Ha ha ha. Ho ho ho. Underwater killer. So funny, Harry. Thank you for fucking me. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of my payslip. You know that, right? You're gonna get fired, and I'm gonna pay till I die. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
Вот оно, мое удостоверение.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand.
Погоди-ка. Что там надо? Координация. Вкачаем. Все равно равные шансы, ну хотя бы больше 50%. Поймать?
Not today, Badge.
Я поймал его?
You got it all right. You're showing it to him. Victorious. They're seeing the badge.
And your gun?
As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements. Gun. Yeah, you don't have that. Maybe you can philosophize your way out of it.
Пистолет, удостоверение, машина — это просто вещи. Вещи не имеют значения, важны люди.
You're drunk, aren't you? You lost your gun and you're drunk. You're a drunk, gunless bum. I can't smell it.
Я пытался не пить, но без выпивки мне не так хорошо работается.
Well, you let the suspect escape. Glacier something. Because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the reports. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Отказаться от ее ареста было правильным решением. Она поделилась важнейшей уликой, которая привела нас на остров.
Oh, well. If she was nice. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect, who also escaped. Yeah, Ruby something. Or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 8 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
Бля, я-то тут при чем? Это я, что ли, их убивал? У меня даже оружия нет. Я вообще мирный человек.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
Вот именно. Да, так и есть.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Yefretar Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the lost gun, also losing his badge, that's all true. And he's been drinking on the job.
Ну не обязательно, блин, все рассказывать, а? Еще скажи, что я амфетамин принимал.
The man sighs deeply.
Then there's the superstardom. He likes to, from time to time, allude to being a superstar law official. At first I thought it was a joke, but
Это была
now
шутка,
I'm
да.
not so sure. He says disco about 20 times a day. It's just strange, especially in light of his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a true blue moralist, a man of the center, not prone to political outbursts, which is commendable, but also at odds with his behavior. And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, and the drugs, of course. Some kind of anti-radiation drug he uses to induce visions. But despite all this, he is a great detective, one of the best I have seen, in fact.
Вот я говорю, не надо было про наркотики говорить, хотя бы.
He can talk human beings into telling him everything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Блин, Ким, ты такой добрый.
Okay, he did something.
Единственный друг мой.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He
Поняли?
apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
Вот это тоже не надо было им рассказывать, мне кажется. По крайней мере, не сейчас, а то сейчас мы оба сойдем за сумасшедших.
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo and shows it to the officers across the yard. Thick white snow falls all around you. Flakes stick to the glossy photo of the phasmid. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Бум шакалака, мазафака.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
Detective?
Бум-бум-бум. Ладно. Да. По моему мнению, феромоны, которые выделяет это существо, вызвали психическую деградацию убийцы.
The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
Все связано, детка. Все было не зря.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
Вот это не надо говорить, мне кажется. А еще. А еще этот фазмид-самка, у нее гнездо в тростниках.
Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
своем гнезде Фазмид хранил собранные вещи. Шлем и прицел.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates.
Я все равно думаю, что это была самка.
Of course, as I said, I'm only guessing. I didn't see it. It must be robust if it can move a whole helmet with its limbs.
Вообще, мне кажется, что их способ размножения — это партеногенез.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so?
Это просто догадка.
Well, then it wouldn't matter if it's a male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenetic mutation.
That makes sense, yes.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
In his mind, he's already planning a nature reserve and knows a good guy for that.
Его жвала выглядели как волосы, и внутри оно было абсолютно белым.
Yes, but also red-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
Without it,
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still. Quit while you're ahead, or no.
Убийца Лилианович Дрос. Мы знаем, что у него серьезный мотив.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym.
Матроним времен революции.
The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
thank you, Trot. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
Он убил наемника из ревности. Блин, не знаю, а может быть и в приступе ярости, который был вызван выделениями фазмидов, хер знает. Может, не стоит предполагать? Или стоит? Он убил наемника из ревности.
Jealousy? I thought this Lilyanovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years. Like 70-something.
A strange psychosexual fixation. Aggravated, possibly, by proximity to the
Ну,
phasmid
вот именно,
and its
что. Да,
chemicals.
тут и то, и то
He
связано.
himself gave a political reason. Said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that.
Это нечто гораздо большее. Все складывается идеально, как фазмид.
Perfect vaulting mechanism. Get over yourself, Harry. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
God damn it. It is bad. Even you can smell it. It's just a little celebration.
Предыдущий руководитель профсоюза дебардеров был убит нашим подозреваемым.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open, in Martinez, where Evrard and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere.
And eyes, too. Your return from the island must not have gone unnoticed.
Understood, of course.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutrality.
This has to be good stuff for him to backpedal out of it at first mention.
А еще я нашел труп на пирсе. Раскрыл дело о пропавшем человеке.
Yes, yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
Откуда вы узнали, что я его нашел?
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, detective.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
Ну, про ночной клуб и нарколабораторию, я думаю, говорить не стоит. Это вряд ли нам в плюс пойдет. Если, конечно, без нарколаборатории еще можно было бы подумать, что плюс, но... Поэтому, я думаю, не стоит это говорить. Про тайну проклятой торговой зоны тоже, ну, типа, чё? Так что, ну что скажешь? Хочешь, чтобы эта горячая штучка вернулась?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to, Jude.
Honestly, anything that ends this trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Погоди, прежде чем мы пойдем, я хочу задать несколько вопросов о том, кто я такой.
The man looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Кто я?
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry.
Что?
Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
Ну, раньше.
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
Это многое объясняет.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the shot put, your inexplicable facial hair.
Коллекцию спортивной одежды Фаун, которую я собрал.
Some of your more old-school wording choices. Your posture, even. The constant stretches.
Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy. And this guy, too.
Когда это было? Когда я работал инструктором по физподготовке?
In your 20s or late 20s, you've really let yourself go since then.
В Куроне? Я был инструктором по физподготовке в Куроне?
Yes, you taught gym in Kulm. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
The smell of sweat and glue. The worn floorboards.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Acel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
His smirk suggests barely contained laughter.
А почему я поступил на службу в РГМ?
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
Ладно, теперь понятно.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
Почему я такой?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
Что за цыпа?
Dora something. Dora Ingerlund. Yeah, you mentioned the name.
Not Dora Dubois.
Погоди, Дора Ингерлунд?
Something like that. Half Vazan.
То есть мы даже не были женаты?
No one is married anymore. This is Levashol.
Когда это было?
God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way before my time.
Да? 6 лет?
Yeah, or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Ingelund really tore you a new one. A big one.
Кем она была?
Incredibly bangable.
Что?
She was extremely fuckable, Harry. Gorgeous. A
Ебабельная.
gorgeous bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin. Pain Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go home.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that.
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
Так, а я коррумпированный коп, который работает на Лапута Мадре или как вообще?
No.
Нет? Потому что подозреваемая, кажется, думала...
You're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
He would immediately backpedal out of it.
А 41-й участок, что это за участок?
Us? Well, the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? With the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You are just understaffed, and everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good.
Торсон и Маклейн?
Mac the Torso Torsen and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
They are damn iconic, though, Torsen and McLean.
Я так понимаю, это легендарный дуэт?
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage.
А отдел S это...
God. There are 4 wings, Harry.
I see.
A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
He's anything but a loser, although he would like to be seen as one. It's cooler that way.
А Прайс это?
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May.
А мы случайно в последнее время не обстреливали церковь?
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
Что случилось? Что нам там понадобилось?
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it to go up.
He means it. The RCM and its enemies will not be discussed on this coast. Your clearance will not go up while you're within earshot of the Union headquarters.
То есть я служу в участке кровавых убийств, да?
Okay. It's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there. Hard. Every day.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershoal. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant.
Кстати, Фазмид, я должен как можно скорее рассказать о нем Лене.
Who is Lena?
Она криптозоолог, живет в Джемраке на Табернакль Роуд. Она рассказала мне про Фазмида.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live on Perdition.
Fine. If we're gonna drop you off anyway.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change.
She is going to be over the moon.
Лейтенант Кицураги, что ты теперь будешь делать?
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
О чем?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
Не хочешь заняться всем этим в 41-м участке?
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering.
Нет, я имею в виду заняться расследованиями. Переводись в 41-й.
Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
В мою команду, чувак.
This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
Приз получен. С нами детектив Кицураги. О.
He's really considering it.
Ну, я готов.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Tron brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the afternoon sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41, to Boogie Street, forking into the snow-swept horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Torsen? Yes. McLean? Yes. Idlestam? No. Vicmair? Yes. Dubois? Yes. Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Potomny Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in the office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the RCM. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minot? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
А, это вот одновременно с этим вот это в участке был разговор капитана Прайса, типа. Блин, а можно мне передохнуть, пожалуйста? Или это конец игры? Или это конец игры такой? Это конец игры. Но какая-то концовка открытая. Я не понял, в чем вот этот вот диалог там был. О чем там был диалог капитана Прайса? И... Не знаю, сколько тут концовок, какие, насколько как бы хорошая моя оказалась. Но мне кажется, она не худшая, потому что мы, по крайней мере, мы нашли убийцу, мы нашли Фазмида. Мне кажется, если бы не заморачивались по поводу Фазмида, то мы бы не увидели его в итоге. Может, я ошибаюсь, конечно. Конечно, не все квесты удалось закрыть. Про броню не удалось закрыть. Говорить с Классье не удалось. Не сдал квесты в Рару. Про эти подписи. Потому что я не хотел на него работать. Я мог бы его сдать, но не хотел. Какой-то еще квест я запорол, не помню. Я думаю, процентов 90 квестов я прошел, ну, завершил. Так что, в принципе, достаточно подробное прохождение было, как мне кажется. Если вы так считаете, ставьте лайк. Если нет, пишите почему. Не, ну, конечно, удивительно, что в итоге в разгадке всего этого собственно, убийства огромную роль сыграло какое-то вообще мистическое существо. общем, сложно. Множество мыслей в голове, сложно что-то сказать вообще. Какой-то итог хочется подвести, но... Не знаю, интересная игра, конечно, классная. Очень много ржачных реплик. Очень хорошая локализация. Вот этим людям спасибо. Вот этим переводчикам и так далее. Немного в игре из минусов то, что вот эти вот проверки, их можно перепроходить. Не знаю, меня вот немного начало напрягать, потому что проверки большинство можно перепроверять, еще раз использовать после прокачки очка. Начинается вот это, сейчас скачаю очко, переоденусь, приму наркотик какой-то там или вот сигареты там, чтобы, в общем, повысить все шансы, повысить этот навык и повысить шансы. И вот это начинается каждый раз перед проверкой, переодевание, использование препаратов, прокачка. Это уже превращается, ну так, теряется динамика, короче. Как-то бы это было сделано, может быть, по-другому, лучше, да. Ну как, не знаю. Типа, чтобы нельзя было во время диалога переодеваться и покачиваться. А если выйдешь из диалога, то уже эту проверку нельзя использовать, к примеру, так. Но это было бы слишком жестко, наверное. Такой сюжет интересный, игра классная. Очень уникальная, просто такая самобытная. Такой вообще не припомню, чтобы играл. По сути, визуальная книга такая. Visual новелла, да. Но с детективом и с RPG элементами. Вот, все. Пройдено. На этом. Можно, конечно, вернуться там еще куда-то в какой-нибудь старый сейф, если он у меня еще остался. До этого острова. Попробовать что-то еще сделать. Ну, не вижу в этом смысла. История закончена. Как получилось, так получилось. Жизнь не идеальна. Ну, в смысле, несовершенна. Некоторые моменты мы залажали. Кто-то умер из-за этого даже. Но все равно многое получилось, и много квестов завершили в итоге. Не знаю, я посмотрю еще потом в интернете, какие еще были варианты окончания игры. Но думаю, что это далеко не худший. Вот. В общем, смотрите другие видео. Через несколько дней мы, может, продолжим что-то из предыдущего. Но поставлено на паузу. У меня таких игр тоже немало. Это и... Ну, в общем, посмотрите. VR-ный Pistol Whip. VR-ный Resident Evil 7. Monster Hunter World. А может быть, и начнем что-то новое. вот, на этом все. Disco Elysium. Пройден. Всем пока.